down from the wall, running high. Oh, I used to be such a nice guy.
When did you actually personalise music and make it something that was creative?
I've just been playing music for so long and hearing music for so long, and I come from a very musical family. It was just something I seemed able to do. I can't remember a moment where I sort of had some breakthrough. Like, I just seemed to be able to pick up instruments, and yeah, I don't know. I'm no good at sports.
Give me a second chance, and my second chance, and we will.
I've heard from numerous people that you're quite humorous. Do you think that's a fundamental misunderstanding of you?
Yeah, look, I don't know. I mean, I guess the only thing that ever gets written about me or the band or whatever is based on our musical output, and our musical output isn't exactly a barrel of laughs. But but on a personal level,
but your lyrics can be funny though as well, can't they? Like,
well, I think so. I mean, I write some. I mean, that last song I played, I think's fucking hilarious. But,
well, we did ask even a harder question for you to go and do homework with, and that was, what would happen if you were stranded on a desert island and you could only take 3 songs in a segment we call Desert Island 3. The first one, we're going to play a snippet of it right now so that we can kind of get placed here. Comes from Fugazi, and this track, Target.
That song actually came out in 1994 as we were starting our band, and there's a line later on in the song that says, if you want to seize the sound, you don't need a reservation. And I just think that's just a wonderful statement. You don't need permission, you don't need approval, you don't need to wait for some break or whatever. If you want to make a sound, just do it.
The next track that you chose comes from this band. We might know this track. It's called Night Swimming.
Night swimming deserves a quiet night.
I guess I like lyrics that have levels and that can be interpreted differently by each listener. That's part of the whole sharing thing. I think people can take something more into their hearts if it's sort of open enough for them to be able to apply their own life story to it. If the lyrics you write are, just these, bold statements that are one-dimensional, then they're going to have a use-by date.
We're going to hear your third track. It's actually one of my favourites as well.
I think that's just pure and simple one of the greatest guitar riffs of all time, and it's just propulsive, and it's undeniable. I just remember the first time I heard that song. This is like being picked up and carried along by this freight train. I felt very lucky that my role models were some of the ones that we've talked about, Fugazi and REM and Sonic Youth. They're all absolutely shining examples of bands who never relinquished any control.
From the deepest part of the human heart, the fear of death expands till we crack the code that we've always known but could never understand.
I don't know how I'm not as influenced by things that I hate than things that I like. I mean, you hear music all the time that you don't like. Surely that is somehow informing what you're going to do or what you're not going to do.
Have you noticed after all these years, like, what space you need to actually be in to write a song, whether that be an internal or an external space?
What I have done is I don't believe in writer's block anymore.
Right.
I just decided a couple of years ago that it's a cop-out or it's an excuse or whatever it is. If there's no writer's block, then you just have to keep working. And So what I do is I just keep going. I just, I sit at a desk for 8 hours or longer a day, and I just keep going. And some days there's nothing, and some days there's a little something, and eventually you get there. And so I think I've more so adopted the idea now that writer's block doesn't exist. You just have to
push through.
Yeah, just keep on going.
And the world just happens, and baby can't see through. All this matter and makeup and deja vu. Yeah, we drift here alone with nothing to do, until one of us makes the other. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming down tonight.